We talked about John Cena a little bit earlier. He did declare entry for the Men's Royal Rumble match. This went exactly as we expected it to. I was hoping that they would set up his next opponent, though. That did not happen. He just came out and said, I haven't won a match in almost 2,500 days, and I'm a loser, and I want number 17, but you know what? I'm going to enter the Rumble, blah, blah, blah. It was pretty much what we thought would happen. So John Cena, first name declaring for the Men's Rumble. I mean, automatically he's the odds-on favorite, not just because he's the only one announced, but I just felt like that was kind of logical anyway. I talked about it last week when we made our 2025 predictions that I could see and probably predict. I'm going the most obvious choice here, although I don't really necessarily want to see him win. John Cena winning the Royal Rumble, and it feels like we are headed in that direction. But, Mr. Marceau, I do think it makes more sense to have him face more adversity by losing in the Rumble, even losing at Elimination Chamber, which he's already advertised for that show, which I don't know what you do with him on that show unless he just appears and fucking says hello and leaves. I would just have him do another match at WrestleMania. I have a specific name in mind, but I would not put him in a World Championship match in Mania. So how do you see the first few months of this John Cena retirement tour playing out?
Yeah, I think I want him to win the Rumble. I think having a build up throughout the year would probably be ideal and probably get more life out of John there. Like, if he goes to the belt and then doesn't win, then you're kind of downhill sliding from there. So at least if he doesn't win here and then he kind of builds it throughout the year, at least the year of like he's building it throughout the year. If he loses that Mania, that's April. So what do we do for the next 6 months? You just trot him out there, sell some T-shirts, and just remember John Cena for being a glorified loser. I mean, I think they need to build it up to keep your interest in Cena throughout the year. Don't give the payoff in April. Wait till November or December to finally get the payoff. So, or even August, maybe they maybe win the belt at SummerSlam, has a belt for a couple months, and we move on. But I mean, doing it now, I think it's a good story. I think like Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, like the story's there, like you want to see him win, and then he comes up short, and he tries again, he comes up short again, and then finally gets the big break. I feel like that will tell a better story than him just winning the Rumble here, going to WrestleMania, losing, and then now what's next for the next 7 months.
No, exactly. I mean, I could see a scenario where he wins the Rumble, but then loses at WrestleMania. But you don't even really want to see that, though.
No, I think they should. If he's going to win, at that point you might as well put the belt on him. I think he shouldn't win it. Like, they come up short like Michaels, try again, comes up short again, and then like he builds himself back up to finally winning the belt.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think going off of that, I would do the exact same thing. I would have him lose at the Rumble, lose the Chamber, but win his first match, because he's talked about I haven't won a match in 8 years. I don't think the first match that he wins in 8 years, well, first of all, he hasn't won a singles match, is what he meant. He's won matches. He's won tag team matches. He's won, shit like that. He won six-mans, whatever. He hasn't won a singles match since 2018. That's what he means.
I mean, like I said, I think he just comes up short at Rumble, tries to get into the Miss Chamber, like maybe someone screws him out of it. He's on the cusp of winning, and he gets screwed out of it. Then you set them up for Mania. Then he goes to the Money in the Bank, and maybe these people, he may be still feuding with this person. They cost the Money in the Bank, then they blow it off at SummerSlam. And then going into September, October, he finally gets his chance, wins the belt, holds it for a month or two, and then loses it.
Yeah, no, I think that's the best way to do it. I would not do it anytime soon, but I think later on in the year, the second half of the year is when you would put the championship on him. If you even have him even if you give him a run, I mean, you could always give him the championship. I mean, I think we've talked about this, but could you give him the championship in his last match and then just vacate it? But I mean, you don't like that idea, do you?
I mean, imagine if Gunther held the belt for like 2 years, he lost the team.
Well, if Gunther's still champion at that point, but
true, but like imagine champion all year for 2 years, and they lose to Cena, and he just vacates it.
No, that would be silly, but I don't know if they'll be champion. I mean, especially not Gunther. I'm not sure Gunther will make it past the Rumble, let alone 2025. But I know what you're saying, though. I understand what you mean. But here's one name I'll throw at you, because not your question specifically, but I could see a question being, okay, then what do you do with him at Mania? If he's not facing Cody, he's not facing Gunther, which it sounds like he might, then who does he face at WrestleMania? Well, to me, my opinion, I think he should face Drew McIntyre. I mean, I don't really have another obvious opponent for McIntyre at Mania. McIntyre said, I'm going to run through the bloodline. He failed on Monday. He lost to Jey Uso. We might get that win back. I don't know. I don't see him facing Roman at Mania. I would like to see him face Roman at Mania. I think that's a cool match. I just don't see that happening. But I could see him facing Drew, and then Drew being like, hey, listen, fuck this shit. Everyone's against me. I hate CM Punk. I hate Rollins, whatever. I want to take out a big name at WrestleMania. I know it's not ideal for McIntyre to lose to a fucking 47-year-old aging veteran, but I mean, Cena winning his first singles match in 8 years at WrestleMania against the top name like Drew, I feel like would be a nice spot for the two of them, and he gets Drew in a prominent match in the card. That could be more storytelling based, and Drew could carry him, as opposed to them going out there and having like a great match, which I'm not sure Cena's, technically capable of at this stage of his career.